Have you ever driven over a highway bridge and couldn't help but look below? Or stood on a shoreline's rocky ridge just to watch the water flow? And count yourself as one of the few with a different set of dreams, the kind that keeps you up at night, 'cause you can't wait to get to that stream. It's more than a river. It's more than the water flowing or where it's going. It's the grip on the paddle and the shit in the saddle, the V in the boulders and the lean in the shoulders. When you reach for the eddy, it doesn't get better than this. Yes, it's more, so much more than a river.
Hey everybody, welcome to Live Conversations with Cross Currents Leadership. We are live on Facebook, Substack, and YouTube tonight for just 15 minutes every Sunday and Wednesday in January and February, as we are kicking off all the most helpful nuggets of information. They're going to help you level up your paddle sports leadership in 2026. We are talking to leaders across paddle sports and outdoor rec, and it's been a phenomenal start to the season. I hope that you're tracking and watching the videos as we go along. They're all recorded, and you can go back and watch them on demand. But it's just been a phenomenal season so far, with more to come. I want to make a quick shout out to everybody who signed up on all of our social channels, but in particular, if you want to make sure not to miss your favorite speaker, the secret sauce is to sign up on Substack, because that's where you get your email updates, and make sure that you don't miss anybody you definitely want to see. And my heart's thanks go to the folks who upgraded their Substack subscription from free to support the work that we're doing here at Cross Currents Leadership. Y'all are the best. Y'all are great. Tonight, we are so lucky to have Jeff Atkins from Wave Paddler joining us again. Jeff, thank you so much for coming back to talk about resources for training the newcomers to our sport. I just really appreciate having you here. You're always amazing, and thank you for making time for us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. I hope it's warmer where a lot of you people are, because it's cold this week.
It's been a very cold week, but it's fun to think about what we can do this summer when we're working with the newbies, right? Mm-hmm. The ACA Smart Start suite of resources is a robust set of tools, but it can also be kind of confusing. So can you help walk us through? I know that I think we were going to start by just talking about the free online courses. Yeah,
it's great. So this is a great initiative been taken on by the American Canoe Association. So a lot of folks, they're always, people are hesitant to take classes for reasons of either fear of money, spending too much money, or either think maybe they don't need it, but they're also maybe, just still trying to figure it all out. So these free online courses are a really good start, really good base, covering everything you can see from paddle sports angling to some rescue things to to nautical rules of the road. These are some really good techniques at the base level to become familiarized with, that you can look at and hopefully practice on your own before you travel too far. But it gives you that base idea of what needs to be done to stay out of trouble, and also maybe to help get yourself out of trouble if you get there.
Well, exactly. And it was paid for with U.S. Coast Guard grant funding. So it's a public resource. It's free for all of us to take. We could encourage as many people as we want to take it. And it's, as you mentioned, you've got that basic module, and then you've got the 3 additional modules for paddle sports, fishing, rescue techniques, and nautical rules of the road. And I think all total, it's about 35 minutes if you sit down and just take it straight through.
Right. And it's great because each one of them are just small enough segments. So people with short attention spans, or either have a lot of things going on at home, you don't have to feel like you're committing yourself to be in an online college course. You can you can go through these things, get the base information. Hopefully then you'll get some out of it. And then hopefully, eventually, as we talk about, it's going to hopefully lead you into wanting to know more. So you'll be really prepared to take care of yourself and other people when you get out there.
Absolutely. And also available in Spanish.
Yes. Well, I think that was one of the great, I think, assets that they did when they did these courses. Due to our Spanish-speaking population being large in the U.S., I think this is a great resource to have available, especially with a lot of folks fishing out there. And so, really great resource.
Well, I love it, and I think it's great for the intended audience. The newcomers to our sport who aren't quite sure how much they want to invest in going to a whole class, right? But there's also, I've heard some really good hacks. I've heard of this being something that retailers are using if they've got a new employee that maybe is either not as familiar with paddle sports as other outdoor rec, or if they have somebody who's so expert they have a hard time dialing it down to beginners, right? That this kind of gets them calibrated.
Right. I have a lot of folks reach out, asking about taking courses. So this is a great thing. You can send them links to, then go and get the overview to start looking into what is going to be checking out. And as you mentioned, like for folks that work in any kind of organization that this may be relevant to, you can get that base familiarity going. And I think it's a really good thing.
Awesome. So then we've got sort of the second category of resources under Smart Start, and those are those community education resources. Can you tell us a little bit about these?
Yeah, so these are great. These are actual hands-on books, and you can get the trainer's manual, a workbook, and a student guide. So this is a resource that, say, if you have a business or you have an organization or you work for a company, you can get these resources and review it with your folks that you're paddling with or working with. It's a great thing for them to bet. You can actually gives you information that you can go through and work down a list, and it covers, again, that basic information. So like 10, 15 minutes slide presentation going there. But again, it's not a certification course, but an education resource. Again, it gives you something in writing from the American Canoe Association, which is the industry standard in paddle sports. And so you're going something by the book that you're going through that gives you some good, solid content to work with people.
Right. And this one in particular, like, these are resources anybody can use. You don't have to be an ACA instructor to teach them. The ACA has published it so that you're getting the benefit of the ACA's experience teaching this set of knowledge and skills. But you don't have to have an instructor certification to teach it. I know, for example, Susan Stalker from Iowa was here the other night. She said that her state employees are going to use this as the curriculum when they're doing education classes for people in the public.
Yeah, it's great. And even so as an instructor trainer, when folks reach out oftentimes getting ready to come to a course, we send them links to this information. So, and like the videos and these information. So it gives them things they can be reviewing ahead of time. So it helps solidify their base knowledge again before they come into an instructor course. And, but yeah, so regardless, if anybody walks away with it, they have, I hate to use the word curriculum, but they have resources and documents to go by. And it's definitely a good tool.
Absolutely. So these are great, as we said, for just community training. And then you've got the courses that an ACA instructor can teach. Can you talk us through sort of how those are different?
Yes. So these you start actually getting some hands-on in the water time. There's some different curriculum that goes by in canoe, kayak, and stuff. But these are basically half-day to full-day courses, depending on how much time you want to go with it. But there's a base module that you do in person, including a written exam. But these are certifications. These are 4-year certifications. So with these, if you're someone, a company or an outfit or an organization, business, whatever, and you're wanting to have some folks walk away with certification at the end of this is a course they can take to get you a baseline. Someone who works like at the water's edge or works behind the cash register or behind the desk, giving out information or maybe handing out equipment, things. It's a certification course where they have that base knowledge. You actually get water time, go out, perform and watch rescues happen. So you're familiar with how it works. You can be able to talk fluidly through it and have experienced and seen what it is and experience what it's like. So it gets them familiar with it, hands-on activity, and you have a certification documentation for your organization that's there. Now, again, you have to, with that comes the person, all your folks that take it has to be an ACA member. So they're going to, in order for them to have that credential, they're going to have to be an American Canoe Association member that sticks with them. And then if, as it shows on the slide there, if you're already certified level 3 or higher instructor in that discipline, you can deliver it in that discipline. And then if you get a skills assessment in another discipline, you can deliver the modules in those other ones. So if you're a kayak instructor and you get a skills assessment in stand-up paddleboard or canoes, if it's relevant there, a lot of state parks that I've worked at, county parks I work at, have rental fleets, livery fleets they run out of. Then they may have some kayaks and stand-up paddleboards along with their canoe rentals or vice versa, whichever way it works. But you can they can be checked off on all those. And during that course, they'll have been experienced rescuing a canoe, rescuing a kayak, and rescuing a stand-up paddleboard.
Right. So let me make sure that I'm tracking on all of this so we can make sure everybody is on the same page. With this class, you've actually got an ACA instructor at the helm.
Yeah.
And
sure.
A member of the public can come to an instructor and get a 4-year certification as a Smart Start paddle sports facilitator. Mm-hmm. So that's different than being an instructor, right? But it is a professional 4-year certification.
Right.
And it's unusual for instructors to be able to deliver credentials like that to the public.
Yeah. The level 1 and level 2 instructor, if you take and get an endorsement class, and with that, which basically an instructor trainer can deliver that endorsement to a lot of, I know we have a lot of level 1, level 2 instructors out there. They can get endorsement to teach this. And that gets you that frontline advantage of being able to work with businesses. You can offer and organizations, parks, recreation services, all those folks that deliver these things. They get a chance, they can work one-on-one delivering these courses and help get and spread the word, helping deliver those certifications for these places that are looking for certifications to have documentation. A lot of governments now are requiring there to be some kind of certification at that organization if you're going to deliver water services, whether it's on public land or public waterways, maybe government outfitters, vendors, they require some of these things. Scout groups are there to have some criteria. Camp counselors, a lot of spaces. So it's a way to get that certification, and it's really valuable to be able to keep the certifications flowing and get people interested and hopefully wanting more.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I've heard of camp counselors that are getting this 1-day class with a professional 4-year certification from an ACA instructor. Outfitters, summer employees, and around here in Atlanta, we've got a lot of level 1, level 2 kayak instructors, some of whom also got the skills award in canoe and sup, and they got the Smart Start instructor endorsement. They can now deliver that 4-year certification in all 3 craft. And a lot of them are working with area nonprofits that would like to have something on the books for their safety boaters, just to show they've done their due diligence to try to maintain safety on the water with the people they do their own programming with.
Mm-hmm. I've worked with some nonprofit and organizations out there too that they'll get one of their lead permanent staff that's there all the time, get them certified as an instructor, and then them get the endorsement to deliver that paddle sport safety facilitator. So then they have an annual trainer that can certify their employees or their workers each year. So it's a great tool for them to be able to have that check systems going as well.
Jeff, I even had personally as an instructor, because I've got this endorsement, I even had a therapist that was taking patients out on the water during social distancing. and came and got this certification from me. So she's got an on-water certification as she was taking patients out on the water professionally, right? Mm-hmm. So there's just all kinds of ways that this can be a useful thing for an instructor to be able to deliver, that it can expand your offerings as an instructor. Well, guys, Jeff has made an opportunity available to you. If you are an already certified ACA level 1 or level 2 instructor in either canoe, kayak, or SUP, and you don't have this instructor endorsement yet, and you would like to be able to deliver this certification, Jeff has graciously said he would teach it for you. So linked in the show notes is a registration link. It's for February the 19th. It's an evening Zoom class because you're already signed off with the on-water skills when you got your instructor certification. So Jeff, thank you for making time for these folks. So maybe we'll get some takers.
Hope so.
So, well, I want to thank you again for coming and walking us through all these resources. Smart Start, when everything's sort of called the same thing, sometimes it can get confusing. So I think it really helps for people to have a walkthrough. So thanks so much for that. Everybody, our next live conversation will be Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, just like always. So looking forward to seeing you there. And as always, thanks to Jerry Vandiver and North Fork Music for allowing us to use his music in the countdown. All these links are in the show notes, and also go in there and check out Jerry's paddle songs. Thanks, Jeff. Bye, everybody.
See you later.